Hello and welcome, I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet, and in today's video it's going to be a quick sort of deck showcase for Tatyova. Originally I was going to do a full deck tech for Tatyova, for a reason that I'll come to in just a moment as well, but I realised that my changes to the deck are like 1 or 2 cards in the last 6 months, and I made a deck tech on Tatyova 6 months ago, which I thought was longer, but it turns out the pandemic has distorted my sense of time. So today I'm just going to show off what she looks like now. She's got a whole new suite of Mythic Frames, which are the main reason to make this video, one of the sponsors of this video as well. There's a link in the description below and I'll talk more about those in a moment. So I'm just going to show off what she looks like now, and we'll talk about the 2 cards that I was planning to add that I bought and were lost in the post by the seller and I had to reorder them. So it's a bit of a deck showcase. I've got a new microphone on, I've got a new camera set up as well, so it's all a bit of that. And just a nice quick little ditty to talk about my favourite commander deck of all time. If you want the full deck tech, it'll be in the cards, or the I button on screen, or in the cards in the description below as well. And if you want to see some gameplay of this actual version of Tatyova in these sleeves and this look in paper, check out the last episode of EDH and Chill as well, which I'll link in the cards and in the eye and stuff. With that out of the way, let's have a quick look at Tatyova. So this is Tatyova, the Benthic Druid. Let's do a bit of a zoom on that beautiful frame here. Now the main reason for this video, and I'm not going to lie to you, is that I want people to be aware of Mythic Frames. We're currently kickstarting these. Alter Sleeves got community members like myself, content creators like myself, alongside with other artists within the community. I am paired up with Inkling Customs, who's done this wonderful design here, to co-create, co-brainstorm, and then obviously make. I didn't draw this, Inkling drew this, but we co-create an idea, a concept. And our idea, and it was with Tatyova in mind, was an idea about like a cityscape, a big city melee, and I absolutely love these sleeves. I really do. In a neon city skyline with like kaiju tentacles in the background here, and we've got Tatyova has joined the fray, or landed in the fray, shall we say, where it's emulating the mashup, the trailers that reveal characters into Smash Bros, because I'm a big Smash Bros fan and I love mix-up, mash-up games, especially like Smash, and EDH always felt that way. It feels like the mix-up, mash-up part of Magic the Gathering. And one of the big changes I made to Tatyova in order to, well, use these sleeves myself was that Inkling came up with this incredible design of a mech holding back an explosion in a city centre with this kaiju sort of tentacle things going on. So I actually ended up changing from being all these full art alters to a mix of this stuff. I mean, this is the charity sleeve that we did through Alter Sleeves last year. God, time flies during the pandemic, doesn't it? So now I've got a load of like mix matching. These 2 are actual alters I picked up at GP's. This is our new Mythic Frame thing, and this is what I did with Alter Sleeves for charity. The whole thing is kickstarted, it is backed already, so there's no fear of it not going ahead. There'll be links in the description below. Go check it out. If you're looking to get involved, you can back and pick which of the sleeves you want. There's a load of different varieties, there might be different artists, and like I said, our one is on there too. Ours is the Big City Melee. But Tatyova in general is not just this Mythic Frame beautiful. God, I love this deck so much and the way it started to look. So this, more shameless plugging away, is an altar sleeve. Now, it's not perfect because it's an altar sleeve that can go on many different artifacts. The idea is that you can see like the different coloration there, where it's the borders are meant to set up for different other greys as well. But this is a Phyrexian like sort of mock-up for a Soul Ring. And then I've kept some of them on there to give the deck like variety. But on the whole, we're on this Mythic Frame treatment for the whole deck because it gives it a very cohesive look. Now, of course, I haven't done this for every card in the deck. This Eternal Witness with the extended border, background, I've kept the way it is because I didn't want to hide the extended. For those of you who don't know what Tatyova does, I'll put it on screen now. She is a 3/3 Merfolk Druid who cares about land drops. And every time you make a land drop, you gain life and draw a card. For that reason, I'm playing 41 fetch lands, including Fable Passage, and a load of green, and no off blue actually. It's all off green because I play so many forests in the deck. So fetch lands are gas with Tatyova. The only really big change from last time is that I've changed how many basic lands I'm playing with. I've gone up, I believe. It's been a while. I think I used to be on 11 with the last video. Now I'm on 13 basic lands, because being able to hit your basic lands not only off of your fetch lands, but more importantly, being able to ghost quarter yourself is super important, because when you ghost quarter yourself, you can find another land, lands go to the bin, you trigger Titanias, you put fuel in your bin for your Ramanov excavators, all that good stuff. So we play fetches, we play ghost quarters, and we play field of ruins because being able to hit land drops and hit basics to trigger Tatyova again is super important. What you've also got to remember is that ghost quartering yourself does put things in the bin, which I'll talk about fueling in a moment, and also you need fetchable mana sources. And really, the only fetchable lands we have are islands and forests, so that's Tropical Island and Breeding Pool. The garish white border of my cheapy version of Tropical Island, and I understand that's not cheap, being hidden by the Mythic Frames here. But you want enough fetchable sources that you can recur these out of the bin with Ramanam Excavator to go and fetch as many lands as possible, because hitting land drops with Tatyova, or Titania with fetch lands, or Lotus Cobra in play is the important stuff. A super quick whistle-stop tour of some of my favourite things in the deck. So winning is pretty good. And the main way this deck tends to win, well, there's one other way which I'll come to in a moment, but Crater Hoof Behemoth is a great finisher. Avenger of Zengdakar is in the same sort of area, although it sort of fuels your Gaia's Cradles. You've got Finale of Devastation, which is both a tutor. There's a lot of tutors in the deck where I can help it to make it consistent, but also a Crater Hoof when you have enough mana. We've then got a Natural Order, which allows you to go and get your Crater Hoof 9 times out of 10. On rare occasion, you'll get an Eternal Witness or a Lotus Cobra. Concordant Crossroads give your bodies haste, or Crab to mill all your opponents out, because you can make a lot of land drops by sacking lands off and replaying them, by sacking your entire land base, sacking off your world ship and putting your lands back into play. You can really deck people out with Hedron Crab a lot easier than it might sound. Concordant Crossroads being a win con helps with the Avenger, but it also helps with Titania, Protector of Argoth as well, because whenever a land goes to the bin, you make a 5/3, which can be the fetch lands that you're recurring, or if you're using your Zuran Orb, you can go ahead and make 5/3s by sacking all of your lands, and that can be 20 5/3s coming at your opponent because you just sacked your whole board off. It's pretty good. But also sometimes it's a value play, and there are value-based creatures in here as well. Risen Wreath plays with Titania. You make an elemental, you trick and Risen Wreath, you get a card off your library. If it's a land, it enters play. You sack a land, do the same again. You can sack lands to just dig for lands too. We have Sylvan Safekeeper as another way of just sacking lands off to trigger lots of 5/3s with Titania, which makes Concordant Crossroads better. And then we've got Lotus Cobra for land drops and land value to make mana. And then this is a weird slot in the deck of things that play well with Gaia's Cradle. Untapping your Gaia's Cradle, that's how you push this deck up to a 10. I say a 10. Competitive EDH players always tell me it's not competitive enough, but then players that aren't competitive EDH players tell me it's too competitive, so you can never fucking win. But untapping Gaia's Cradle with your Nissa is pretty strong. On the topic of Gaia's Cradle, when you've got a billion mana and some blue sources, untapping your opponent's turns allows you to cast Capsize over and over and create a lock. It's pretty good at basically being oppressive, but this deck isn't here to play nice with people. This deck's here to be ludicrous. Both Thassa's Oracle, which replaced Laboratory Maniac when Theros hit, and we've got Jace World of Mysteries to allow us to deck ourselves with a lot of value engines to get there. And then we have more cards that play well with both Fetches and Gaia's Cradle. We have Crucible and Ramanat Excavator. The idea with the Excavator is that you can tap this for 1,000 mana, and then use Excavator after sacking it to Zuran Orb or Safekeeper or similar to replay it out of the bin and tap it for approximately 1,000 mana again. Same with Crucible of Worlds. And then playing well into that is just multiple land drops. We've got Burgeoning, we've got Wayward Sawtooth, we've got Exploration, we've got Oracle of Mordire, we've got Zeus Lost But Seeking. And if I'm honest with you, every time I talk about this video on camera, every time I play a game with this video on a stream, or I play a game with this deck on a stream or in a video, I always remember that this needs to become a Dryad of Elysian Groves, and I've forgotten again. And one day I'll own a Dryad, and one day it'll replace the Wayward Sawtooth. Again, I haven't always sleeved this. I've used, Mythic Frame this. I've used a ton of Alter Sleeve here. I didn't Mythic Frame this. There's a few of those floating around because I just want them to look, in their true glory. But on the whole deck being this cohesive look, this purple neon look, is very me. If you haven't noticed from my thumbnails and stuff, I do like a bit of purple and the fluorescent colours, although I won't use it to block off these borders. And then, of course, the last thing to mention about that is the health bars. Again, we're going for that fighting game health bar thing. The two cards that I didn't get hold of, or I ordered and lost, were Jadsa, because I believe that the other side of Jadsa, the front half creature thing, well, yeah, whatever. Maybe you'll cast it sometimes. But the back half, after you've drawn a load of cards off of Risen Reef, or you've drawn a load of cards of Tatyova because you've scape-shifted a load of lands into play, drawn cards of Tatyova, you can then cast the second half to put all those lands into play out of your hand again. It's a utility thing to do after probably a value scape shift for Tatyova in play. And the other part is a really obvious one that's missing from the deck at the moment, which is Scoot Swarm. I have been meaning to put Scoot Swarm into this deck for so long, and I keep never getting around to ordering it. I never opened any when I cracked tons of Zendikar Rising on the channel and stuff, and didn't open a single bloody one. And now I've ordered one, and it's lost in the post, and now I've ordered it again. So yeah, Scoot Swarm and Jadsa are being added to. And then finally, my tokens that I use for plants and for elementals. I've got a foil Cherubi, and I got a foil Victory Bell. I kind of want to get a foil Venusaur for some description as well, so I can have 3 different plant Pokemon to use as my plant tokens. And that's how Tatyova's looking at the moment. Wonderful, beautiful, some things altered sleeved, everything, almost everything being Mythic Framed, where it doesn't ruin the frame look. I just wanted to share it with people. I want people to be aware that Mythic Frames is happening, because I love this product, whatever we call it. I think Inkling Customs just did an insane job at manifesting the brief or the discussions we had around big fights and stuff. I just love this deck. I love playing with it. I love playing with paper magic. I just moving cards around and stuff. It's just so much more satisfying than playing Arena and Modo. And that was it. It was just a quiet little ditty. Almost like a vlog. This is much more than a vlog and me plugging a product that I want people to get, because if I see people playing with these sleeves at a GP in the future, it'll warm my cold, dark heart. I've been Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. I'll see you all soon. Don't forget to hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the Mythic Frames, and what you think of like how Tatyova's looking these days. I haven't done a full deck like I said, because I only did one 6 months ago, and there's only been like 2 cards changed since then. Check out the links in the description box below for that, and I'll see you all again soon. Ta-ta for now.